In my opinion, you're only rich if you can actually do something with the money, not if you're a slave to the money. Getting rich is tough, but staying rich is even tougher. What I've seen is that people that make a whole bunch of money aren't necessarily actually rich, they just make a bunch of money, but they're paying a bunch of money for other things. What's up everybody? I'm Nolan, or Professor G, and this is Office Hours, which is unscripted and unedited, and so I'm just going to give you my thoughts on this very important topic. If you aren't already, you should check out and join my Patreon. That is in the description below, where we go even deeper on things that you specifically ask for, and I show you deep into my portfolio and give you picks and updates as I'm making new stock picks or what I'm doing with my money. So this conversation today is all about keeping money and staying rich. A lot of people talk about getting there, making more money, having more money, investing so that you have more, right? But nobody really talks about keeping that money. And so this is huge. So the cool thing was that I came up with this idea when I was actually in a 7-Eleven yesterday. So what happened was I was in this 7-Eleven, I was picking out, I think I was just getting some water or something, and 3 kids came in. And they were looking around, and each one of them were so excited, and they were talking about what they were gonna buy. And each one were saying, I'm gonna buy this energy drink and also this snack and whatever. So each of them had their own drink and a snack in their hand. Then they came up to the counter, and the person with the money pulled out the money, and they were like, how much do we have? And remember, they're kids, so they just, were scrounging for some money. But they pulled out all their ones and things, and they had $8. Obviously, the amount of food and drinks and things that they had picked out was way more than $8, because each drink that they had was about $3 a piece there, and there was 3 of the kids. So just in drinks, they had about $9, and I would assume that they had about $9 or $10 in snacks as well, with each one of them having something. So they looked at their $8, they looked at all their food and all of their treats, and they decided, how can we make it so that we get a bunch of snacks for each other and drinks, but we have to stay within this $8? So they went back to the drawing board. They put their drinks away, and they were trying to figure out, okay, maybe you can get a drink, and maybe I'll get a snack, and we can try it that way. And I think that that's what a lot of people think of when they think of budgeting. They think of, well, I'll have to totally sacrifice one thing that I really like and not have it at all, but at least I can have this other thing. And that sounds terrible. That's like, if you're thirsty and all you have is a snack, that's going to be an issue, right? They started to figure out, okay, how can we all get both? How can we all be happy with what we buy? And so they were so smart, and they started figuring, okay, there's actually 2-liter drinks over there, and those are like $4. So what if we buy 1 2-liter? What if we all agree on a drink that we all like that's a 2-liter? And then what if we get like 2 bags of chips or something, 2 different things that are $2 each, and share that amongst each other? So now they have a big thing to drink, and then they have the 2 different foods, and they can share that, and everybody can have a good snack, and everybody can have a good drink of some sort. And all of that fits into the $8. And so they did that. And I'm sure that they went on with their day, and they were super excited and super happy. What they came in for, though, was a drink and a snack, and had no limit. And they would have, if they had $20, they would have spent that $20 and been happy with their choices. What they did, though, was they changed up their choices, they used a little bit of their brain and a little bit of creativity, and what they ended with was the same thing. They ended with a happy choice. They got drinks that they like, and they got food that they like, and they used only $8. And so that is the thing that just was a light bulb to me. What we need to do is we need to figure out a way that you can still get what makes you happy, still get your goal, but that you're able to stay within a certain amount of money. And that's what budgeting should be. And when my wife and I budget, we do our budget, we've been budgeting for 15 years or something. When we budget, it doesn't seem like we're taking anything away. it seems like the opposite, because then we're able to say we know how much every single month we pay on groceries, or we pay on things that people just fluctuate all the time, because we set that amount. We say, okay, if it's going to be $500, we have to stay within that. And because we do that, we know if either of us makes an extra $500, $1,000 that month or something, we can throw that into a vacation or into investing for our future or something. And so that's so much more exciting than just being able to buy whatever you want at the grocery store. Because when we go to the grocery store, we still buy whatever we want. We just keep it within a certain price range. And so that might mean that some things we don't buy the most expensive of. And that's totally okay. And you start to learn that and you start to live within that. And it's just so much more freeing. And so the way that you're able to stay rich is to make sure that you have a budget planned out, and one that works for you. Because it's not going to be great if all you do is budget really hard from like January to March, and then after that you just go back to spending like crazy. This needs to be a lifelong thing. It's kind of like a diet. If you diet too hard, if you just constrict so hard and all you eat is like a cucumber all day, after about a week, you go back to eating pizza as much as you can because you're starving, right? We don't want that with money. We want to find a way that this can work. And so what I always talk to my students about is, who's more rich? Somebody that makes $50,000, somebody that makes $75,000, or somebody who makes $100,000? And that's not the end of the question. At that point, we could say, well, the person that makes $100,000 is more rich than $50,000. Okay, that may be true, but then what if I say the person that makes $50,000 spends $45,000 on living expenses? They have $5,000 extra at the end of the year. The person that makes $100,000 spends $120,000 in the year because they really like the luxury that they're used to with making that amount of money, and so they have no spending cap and they just spend everything. So they actually have a negative $20,000, or they have credit card debt of $20,000. The person that makes $75,000 budgets and keeps his or her spending the same as the person that makes $50,000, so around $45,000 is what they spend in the year. This person has $30,000 to do with whatever they'd like, and they choose to invest with it. They choose to maybe use part of it for themselves, because you have to live a little bit, and so you go on vacation or you buy something nice for $1,000 or whatever, and so that person has $30,000 at the end of the year. When you look at it that way, it's clear to see that the person that makes $75,000 is the most rich. In my opinion, you're only rich if you can actually do something with the money, not if you're a slave to the money. So the way that you're going to stay rich is going to be with a budget, or with figuring out a way that works really, really well for you personally. And everyone has different types of personality types. And so it's very, very hard for somebody to just say, here's how you should budget, because maybe that doesn't work for you. It's the same way with my students. If I just say, you have to learn this way, and somebody learns visually and somebody else learns by hearing it and somebody else learns by doing, if all I do is say, you have to just listen to my voice always and you're going to get it, that would be stupid. They would not get it, right? Some of them may not get it. And so I've done the same thing for you in this video. I went ahead and built out the different types of personality types and how you can budget for your personality type. Because as we're going into January of 2023, this is the best time for you to start something new. And so I would recommend that you watch this video now, because it's going to get you set up and ready for what you're going to do in January. Have a good day, everyone.